going on the tweeters. Now we got to get this working. Oh, look, we're live.
Whoa. Huzzah. Live video live.
Vlog Thursday live. Do we have sound? If not, we got to kill this whole thing.
We got it.
We got sound?
We got it.
Because we're giving away boxes! So, there's cameras on the other side. We got to make sure we don't knock any of those off.
Well, they're hardy.
They're
they sit outside.
I'm not going to say we ever dropped a Unify camera. I'm not going to offer guarantees that a Unify camera will survive a drop, but I may have witnessed one surviving a drop. Yeah. I'm just saying.
It happens.
So someone had asked a question, and we'll talk about this in a second. Someone asked a question about these hard drives. I will address these hard drives.
Oh, okay.
I'll quit throwing the boxes. So
it's fun.
Audio is dank. I hope that's a good dank.
I think it is.
Okay, is that a good dink?
I think that's how the kids.
Is that how kids talk these days? Like I used to say wicked a lot.
Yes.
A lot. And people weren't sure, and that was maybe edgy and fun. Now I'm older. Just
stopped being edgy and fun a while ago.
Yeah. I am going to start out with a little rant because I was going to just rant and do a rant video on YouTube about YouTube as a YouTube creator. But I'll just do this here real quick and share my thoughts because I did tweet this earlier today.
The video is kind of somebody mentioned it, and the video is kind of jumpy.
Oh, I don't know why.
Yeah.
Hopefully that fixes itself. I don't know what magic will make it work.
It seems to be consistent around.
Hold on, I know what's wrong. Hold on. There's so many things on my screen. We got to fix the one that's causing it. I bet it's this one. I bet that makes it faster. The computer was running my remote session. All right. Jumpy and 480. Hopefully that fixes all those issues. Whee! Anyways, back to the YouTube rant. So I tweeted this, and there was an advertiser meeting with the CEO and executive board of YouTube. If you follow the YouTube, as a creator on YouTube, you end up following some of the YouTube news. And it was a advertiser meeting. And this is how I have a feeling this meeting went, and this is what I tweeted. Advertiser, my video was displayed on some guy ranting about gay frogs, pedophiles, and pizza gates or something. And you know, because that's what the problem is on YouTube. People post videos, the ads end up on top of those videos. Sure. So this brand would be upset that his brand was tarnished by showing on this moron ranting about BS on some video. What are you going to do about it, YouTube? And they responded, we're going to change the feed algorithm and make it harder for people to find the things they subscribe to. Because that seems like that's the next line of that conversation. Because in case you didn't know, that's what YouTube did. Audio is horrible, not wicked. I don't know. It sounds good over here.
No?
It sounds good over here. Yeah, I don't know. We have a way of monitoring, not what this is, but all the way out to YouTube.
I think it's your phone.
Yeah, so YouTube seems to be working there.
Yeah.
Anyways, so my thing about YouTube and my little rant and what this is about. So YouTube changed the feed algorithm, and they officially announced it on the YouTube feed that even though you may have clicked my bell icon, you have clicked subscribe, you've done all the things that us as creators have told you to do, and then you go, but I have not been notified of your new videos or anything. Thank you, YouTube. They have done this. A lot of the bigger creators are really ranting about this. And it's kind of it is an issue because sometimes people don't. I mean, I understand YouTube's goal is to keep people on the site and keep feeding them videos, but some people specifically want to watch videos by certain people when they're released, maybe even us. Hey. Anyways, so there's a lot of anger when you have followed the instructions given to us as a creator through the creator learning programs that we go through that teach us things about YouTube, and then to find out that they don't really mean anything. They are only indicators that you may want to see our videos, and then they're going to show you some crap you didn't care about anyways, and with the hopes of you seeing it. So I don't understand this. The other side about the advertisers, though, is too many cables. We did not feel like cleaning this up. We're in the middle of testing a lot of things that have to go up for a project. Matter of fact, we have to end this in about half an hour.
Less than.
Yeah. But one of the other problems with YouTube is they're beholden to advertisers, and that's what I think so many people miss. They think sometimes there's some agenda, some political agenda, whether it be left or right or whatever, and it's really not. YouTube is just beholden to advertisers. That's what makes them money. And without money, they can't make the videos keep going, and they can't pay me commission on the ads. And there's a whole factor of things that won't occur. So they're really beholden to advertisers, but that's also why YouTube is not a wonderful platform for certain things. YouTube is a great platform as a creator who wants to talk about NAS hard drives and Unify and servers and stuff like that. So the tech creators, we have it pretty good. People who are how-to. I figured out how to fix the rear drum on my messed up problem I had in the rear drum on my brake my car on YouTube. YouTube is amazing for how-to videos and things like that. Where YouTube is just a bad platform, and I'll tell you why, is when it comes to things that are opinions, where especially polarizing opinions. Because in the old days of the news, back when me and Marvin were children, before we had the gray hair, you used to remember those stupid things that come on there. This show does not reflect the view of the advertisers.
Yeah.
And the reason they do that disclaimer, and even though they said it, the ad companies, there is a lot of buy-in. The ad companies have influence and always have in the mass media market of what their ads will be shown on. So YouTube, the giant commoditized ad market, there's really hard to narrow in where your ads are going to be shown, and trying to figure out when people are ranting about political commentary stuff that may not fit the ad brand and wanting their stuff on there. Now you created a problem because they realize politics is polarizing. So no matter the views of the advertiser, whether they are agreeing or disagreeing, they know they're going to cut out half their audience. So there's where all the problems lie in YouTube, and that's my little rant about it. So I understand from their perspective is that they're beholden to advertisers. It's also aggravating when they tell us as creators to tell you to click the like and subscribe, and now it's changed and you don't get notified for the videos, and they throw some other random videos in between. Niche content creators like myself probably feel that less. Larger content creators that are more like the entertainment side of things probably feel a lot more, because they're like, oh, if you like this person's entertaining things, you'll like all these. The videos you probably get suggested after watching mine, there's me, Mark Furman, I know he's got some PF Sense videos.
Isn't Mark Furman the cop from OJ?
I don't know.
I think he's the cop that framed OJ.
There's only a handful of people making PF Sense videos. There's like Chris from Crosstalk makes some recent ones. Recent makers is really mostly me and Chris from Crosstalk that are doing videos. So this is like, if you get another suggested video in your feed because you've been searching for PF Sense videos, there's really a narrow thing. When you're looking for general entertainment and like the lifestyle vloggers, which are so popular, you get this multitude of them because they're like, oh, these people kind of fall in this broad entertainment category. So yeah, I don't know. Anyways, back to what I was going to talk about. Is I play political ads on every single video that I watch, but frown upon opinionated content. Well, that's always going to be the case, because when the advertiser is driving the political ads, yes, that is actually going to be a different topic, because now they're driving the political ad and YouTube's taking money. So they don't care. They'll take ad money from whoever is buying political campaigns. So I haven't watched a YouTube ad, though, by the way, on purpose in forever. And the reason why is not because of any type of anything, but the fact that I subscribe to YouTube Red. I'm a very big fan of it. I don't mind paying not to see stupid ads every time. So I find the ads on YouTube repetitive. Matter of fact, just from a bigger perspective, there's a lack of diversity in the ads. There's a lack of advertisers on YouTube, and that lack of advertisers mean you watch 5 videos, you'll see the same ad 4 out of 5 times, which drove me nuts. So things that are good for YouTube, NAS drives, because you got to store stuff everywhere.
You do.
People ask me what I thought of these. The reason there's a big pile of boxes on just the last couple builds is because we've been building a lot of these. These are the Death Star NAS. Maybe I'll do a separate review of these drives. So
Desk Star, not Death Star.
We used to call them the Death Star, but now they call them the Death Star.
I got very excited when I found out that we had 20 Death Stars delivered.
Yeah.
Turns out
we did not have 20 Death Stars delivered. We had 20 of these. Anyways, we use these in a lot of the NAS builds for the NVRs, and that's what these are for. I know there's going to be someone out there going, but that's consumer stuff. Yeah, I know it's kind of prosumer, consumer. You can't build a company on it. Backblaze. But some companies do, and Backblaze has actually been my source. I've talked before about their drive sourcing, and they work on these really, really well. So that's one of the things that we like. They're making an affordable thing. I mean, of course, there's always someone going to cry, well, you could just use some enterprise thing. Yeah, I know. We could sell them a $15,000 enterprise grade storage solution. but that just doesn't seem that the inexpensiveness of this. And we're going to talk about the build that's over here. This is, I slid it out of the way, but this is, I posted some pictures on Twitter. We've been doing the burn-in on this, and it's another large Unify build with 48 terabytes. I don't know. There's a lot of terabytes in here, so it's a lot of storage. Usable after the RAID comes down to being 32 terabytes of usable storage.
Still a lot.
Yeah. Can I win one of those Unify cams? No.
Yes, you can. Send us $250.
Yeah, and you can win one with $250.
You will win a Unify camera. Purchase necessary, void where prohibited.
Yeah. I know there's a shortage on these. You got to hunt down places that have them in stock. I like to blame myself for that, for saying that they're great cameras. Now I've caused the great Unify shortage of 2018. Sorry about that, folks.
Well, it didn't help that we had like 2 big jobs like back to back either. So
yeah, we've been going through a lot of cameras lately.
We bought a lot of them and we recommended them too. So that's kind of
there's nothing I can do about that. I will address something else because my time's running short, but I'll address something else. And I'm normally completely unbothered by comments. I don't really care. Most times I take the AVE guy. I love his attitude. I won't say what he says, but it's go screw a hat essentially, and more profound. I kind of I don't
more profound or profane.
Profound and profane ways. He declares how little he cares.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about a lot of the comments. I'm like, I get called names. I get weird people that really hate my content. I'm fine with that. They took the time out of their day to send me their hate. I'm fine with this. But someone made a comment and I thought about it. And I think they're right about what they said. And I'll tell you what they said here. They had stated that I'm just some home labber with a home labber with a business. And I'm like, they said I wasn't really enterprise. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And he's not wrong about that I'm not covering a lot of enterprise. But there's a reason why. And it comes down to channel content. If I sat around doing nothing but talking about things that cost over $10,000, then the number of people that can afford it or get into technology is going to be greatly diminished. Also, we do a lot of that work. So it's not that we don't do any of that work, but I sign NDAs before we start doing that work. This is how some of these companies work. And let me tell you just how big a lot of this is. If you've worked in corporate, you're already nodding your head and going, yeah, we can't even talk about what firewalls we use. That's very correct. A lot of companies have strict policies on not talking about the tech that they use inside, because the reason why is kind of simple from a security standpoint. Oh, guess what? We're using XYZ firewalls. And then you find out there's a vulnerability in those firewalls. And although the company may be on top of patching, maybe it's a 0-day that doesn't have a patch immediately, you've now given an edge because you know immediately, because you go, hey, I heard that company's using those firewalls. Let me attack their perimeter. Let me do this. So a lot of these companies, and a few of my friends work in these corporate environments, and we get contract work that we do. That's why we can't bring cameras in there. That's why you really don't see a lot of this. It's one of those challenges. Like, I want to do more on-site jobs, but for example, we did that one right at the wiring bid. It was a medical place. Have we been back? Yes. Can we do anything once they're there? No. Do you think you can wander in there? They don't even want your cell phone out of your pocket. I wander in with a camera and a mic, like, hey, I'm a YouTuber and I'm going to talk about stuff. And they're like, no. They're like, no, we have strict. Put your phone in your pocket. What the hell is on your stick over? Yeah, you can't do that. So,
man, if I had a dime for every time at a doctor's office, I've heard what's on the stick.
What's on the stick? Yeah, I did. I actually laughed because, I'm fixing something in the other room, and I'm fixing a computer on the wall at a doctor's office, and so we have a plastic surgeon, and the doctor's got a loud voice, and he's just loudly, so show me your breasts. And I'm like, I stopped him, and I'm like, this seems, I'm in a plastic surgery office. I was going back to my work, and he's making comments about them, and he's having a discussion, and you're like, this seems awkward right now.
Yeah, you hear that and you're like, Morgan Freeman? Is that you?
Too soon. Too soon.
Okay.
For those who don't know, Google Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
If you've been busy doing other real work today, somehow that popped up. I mean, when I seen him trending, I thought he had died.
Right. Yeah. I was like,
turns out it was just his career.
Yeah.
Anyways,
you gotta wonder if he narrated the whole thing too.
Yeah. Oh God, I know. So onto business topics, so as we get a little bit more focused. I also am working on a couple things. I think a few people have asked me about starting a business. So we're talking about putting together we share a lot, but there's like some things, it's not that I can't share them, but maybe helping people or coaching or putting together. We've tossed around other ideas. I want to do some more business talk stuff as well, but I'm trying to consolidate it because I don't want to dilute the channel into too many different directions. I think it goes in a million directions already. So we're going to be kind of working on some of those ideas and how we can share more information about that. It's just trying to make it consolidated because some people come here more for business and some people come more for tech. I am more of a tech person at heart and much less a business person. That's just my personality. Marvin knows that. He sees the bank account. So yeah, so
I see the bank account in the server rack, and I'm like, one of these things is not like the other.
Yeah. I'm more interested in server racks than bank accounts. Business is a means to an end. I just want to play with techie things, and apparently no one will employ me to do that. Well, maybe they will. I just haven't found the right person to employ me. Would you like to buy my business and run it for me so I can just play with techie things? Tom at LawrenceSystems.com. Send your offers.
There it is. Hit that PayPal button.
Hit that PayPal button. Oh, yeah. I have 10 channels like Linus Tech Tip does. Yeah, I could do that too. That would be difficult. I have enough trouble managing one channel. I don't know. I'm working on it. I want to do more content creation. It's finding that balance between having to send out quotes and making a YouTube video, having to finish a project for a client or making a YouTube video. There's just these things that have to be done. And that's all kind of the, things that have to be. I sat down today. I got one YouTube video out and then did a bunch of quotes. And yesterday was nothing but fixing stuff and dealing with clients and invoicing stuff. So I didn't get to do any YouTube videos. I'd rather be doing YouTube videos, to be honest with you. I like the client projects. I don't like my record I set Wednesday for telling another human being technology, electricity. That record is 6 times in a 24-hour period. It would have been 7th. 7th time went to voicemail. And it was just explained to them that after their power outage and part of their things in their building didn't turn on, that they would have to pay me to come and flip breakers. And they said, we don't know what breaker it is. I said, I don't either. I said, so this went back and forth. And they kept saying, well, do you think you can make it work? And they kept calling and asking any different method. But I was going to say, not until there's electricity. And I'm just like, that's mind numbing. The actual fix. So yeah, that's, Linus sucks. I'm not going to say that Linus sucks. I will say, I tried watching his recent video on Unify, and it was kind of we don't know what we're doing for 15 minutes and we got it working video in the last 2. So just skip to about the 3/4 mark of that video if you want to see it. Plus no technical information on how the site to site works. But I mean, I don't have anything against Linus. He's just a different type of tech channel. He covers a lot more consumer tech. He covers a lot of outlandish builds that are fun and unaffordable. I look at myself as more like the level 1 techs, like Wendell and them. I think they do a great job of not being into the BS of things and focusing on the tech of things. So there's clearly an audience for Linus. I've seen the subscriber base. The guy makes a hell of a living. He's doing well. Hats off to him. There's people. There's a guy who's got a lot of subscribers who eats carrots. I mean, there's content for everyone. All right, I'm just saying. And if you haven't looked up the carrot guy, I haven't looked at what his subscriber is right now, but he had a lot of subscribers and he just eats carrots. Like he's a YouTube channel that eats carrots. Hey, I mean, hey, why not?
I mean, why not?
I mean, how to basic fix things in their own way. They reach like 10 million subscribers doing whatever it is they do. So
a guy has all the subscribers eating carrots. Why can't we get that many eating our hot stuff? That's more fun to watch anyway.
Yeah, the Canadian kid equals experience. Leverage that. You could do a whole ArcNet local talk. Oh, you want me to cover old stuff? Okay.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do that. We will wrap it up with this though. Vague. The reason we called this is so I get emails and I'm addressing the person who emailed me and I emailed them back. Then they said they started out with, and I'm not going to read it word for word, I don't have it pulled up, but someone was like, I want a firewall with all the bells and whistles, blah, 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 recommendable. And I'm like, and he had titled it like Unify. And I'm like, well, the Unify doesn't have all the bells and whistles that this person had asked for. So I suggested a pfSense. They replied back and with a couple other questions about the Unify again. And I said, but I guess you prefer pfSense. I'm like, well, you want features that the Unify doesn't do. Therefore, I suggest pfSense. And I think, well, so you say I like pfSense or say, so you don't like the Unify? I'm like, well, if it doesn't do, I want 16 terabytes of storage, but I want to buy this. I'm like, well, this is an 8 terabyte, but I need 16 terabytes. Well, then this isn't the thing I'm going to recommend. So I don't understand that. And the other vague part is, what do you think of Netgear? It works. I mean, I don't really, we use all kinds of hardware and things like that, but sometimes my opinion is just goes, it works. There's nothing exciting about it. There's nothing interesting about it. I reviewed that cheap firewall because it was cheap. So it had a feature. It was cheap. There's the feature. Other than that, there are expensive ones that are commoditized hardware like the others. Therefore, there's something I talk about. No donation button today? I have no idea why there's not.
No, man.
We have a PayPal.
Man, somebody was going to buy the company, but now they won't.
I know. You could that. Yeah. Configure more open source products. Video of Sophos NG. No, I have not done anything with Sophos. And the reason why is this comes to a lot of firewalls. One, use case. Now, I'm going to do a firewall comparison video. I'm going to see what other YouTubers, possibly Willie and Chris, if I can get them in on. I love to do a three-way with all of them on a video on firewalls. Because I want to do some comparisons of what our market experience is on different firewalls. But here's the thing. I really like pfSense. I'm very familiar with it. I know it very well. But that being said, I do know there's other firewalls out there. I'm completely aware. But if you haven't seen the latest giant botnet attack, which names a few other firewalls, not pfSense, but it comes down to use cases and deployments. We have deployments with Cisco. We have deployments with Zywalls. We have a handful of them because of a weird customer spec on one of those corporate jobs that we do that we did in video, but we do them. Their cloud system and the way their infrastructure is set up with their multi-tenant system is all these firewalls at these locations with this configuration. So we've used a lot of different ones. But unless there's some real use case for me to go out and look at Sophos or to look at, everyone keeps mentioning the fork of pfSense. I looked at the fork like I looked at it from a spec wise. It doesn't seem to offer anything that I don't get. So if I, don't have any more features, why would I deploy it? If I had time to test all these firewalls, like if someone made it my job and said, here's money to pay you for your time, Tom, to just test all the firewalls and do pen testing against all of them, awesome. And really take the time to research them. I do know pfSense well. I know the developers. They are very active. They are on top of things. They keep the thing up to date, so I keep using them and we deploy them, so I'm very familiar with them. I do know I have another tech friend, not YouTuber at all, but he's really big on Untangle. He likes them. I've spoke with him at length about them. I haven't had time to look at it. It's something on my list to do. But the Untangle firewall swears by him. And because I trust him as a technician who has installed many, many of these, I think he's like a gold member, gold member. He's been selling them for years and he shared his experiences with them. So there is the kind of thing I want. A tech I know and respect and knows about those firewalls. So I may look at those, but I won't just throw anything in for a firewall because, well, there's giant botnets out there attacking things and, fun stuff like that. So,
all right. In the last 2 minutes that we have, somebody asked if you could be specific about the botnet attack. What happened?
If you didn't see this, I thought I tweeted it. Maybe I'll look. Follow my Twitter, by the way. I don't know politics. An occasional tech joke though. So that's basically my Twitter's tech jokes and things I'm working on and projects. But the FBI took down the giant botnet. If you didn't see, I think it's called a VPN net. It's got some weird name. It's got I don't forget the exact tag name in there. And I'm just like, well, I hope tomorrow's headline doesn't read FBI loses control of botnet due to data breach. I also am doing some research related to that because I'm not clear on how they took it over and I want to know the details and I might do a follow-up video on there. And so there's some interesting pieces of it. I've actually have some security friends I reached out to. They liked my headline because I know I sent it to them in a private security group. That's where my first comment from. They're like, "Hey, FBI took down this big botnet. It's 500,000. It includes routers and things like that." Actually, I think I tweeted about the botnets. Talos, Cisco Talos, the research arm, actually is the one who tweeted about it originally, and now it's getting in more detail about the FBI took it down. So it's an overall interesting subject. We've been discussing it because it affects quite a few different routers. that were infected with it and there's some 0 days that were found. And I'm also not clear on the entirety of how those 0 days were exploited. One of the firewalls in the list that's popular is the Draytech. I've had a lot of people ask me about the Draytech. Apparently they're a popular firewall with MSPs. I don't really know why. I haven't really looked at them like to tell you much about the Draytech, but they were the ones that clearly had it. So yeah, I wasn't really sure. So it's still going to be interesting. Yeah, it was part of the Ukraine attack. I know that.
Okay.
But obviously, it's an internet attack and it can be pointed anywhere. And it kind of goes into, I'm thinking about the larger ramifications of things like that. Of, okay, can the FBI shut down someone's botnet? What do you consider a botnet? Is there legalities in here? What if those people agreed to have their routers taken over for money instead? Is it still a botnet? I don't know. I want to think about the bigger ramifications that go into that. So, yeah.
Hey, thanks, Drew.
Message us for charges on remote work. I try to do things project based when it comes to remote work because it's easier. If you tell me what you want, I can give you a price. The fuzziness, I give really high prices hourly, because if you just want to sit and talk to me hourly, there's generally a higher charge for that. Versus, and this is an example, a lot of times we work, hey, can you set my VPN up? No problem. I'll give you a price on it. How many users? What's the configuration? Give me a couple details. Done. Here's a price. And we do it. I need my FreeNAS set up with this, and this. I need this configured for it. No problem. I log in and do it. I just want to talk to you about how things might work. Well, now that I can only charge hourly for, and it's going to be kind of high. I don't know. High is a matter of opinion. It's a consulting fee at that point. And what I don't like, especially, and I've run into this, and no offense to people who are home users that want me to help them, they're sometimes just spend so much time talking through all ideas, nothing actually happens. And then they're like, but the time's up, but I have more questions and you didn't do anything. I'm like, I know, you just kind of asked a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And I don't know what to tell you about that. It's easier for me to quote a project and whatnot. So
yeah. All right, we have to shut it down.
Yep.
We have things to do.
The botnet we need more than pfSense, man. That botnet is why we need more pfSense. I think you need a botnet more than you need a pfSense. I don't know. It's a matter of opinion. Behind you, Spider. What then? More like 150 to 200 an hour. I don't know, somewhere around there. Yeah. Yeah, VPN filter. That's what it was called. VPN filter IoT. That's the name of the thing. So, all right. We will have fun.
See you next.
That answers the question about the corporate stuff of whether or not we do it and why my channel is how it is. For those of you wondering, I've gotten more than one message on it. I thought I'd address it in general. I also looked at that person's comment history. They generally seem to have something negative to say about everything. I'm
shocked.
Yeah,
I'm absolutely shocked.
I like when I do that. I love when Redditors comment and stuff because I can just see your history, your comment history. I'm like, are you just a negative person in general? Oh boy, you hate everything. I don't even it makes me feel much better about the comment. Like if I were to take a comment personally, I feel much better. Like there is simply nothing this person's happy about. Like they literally had comments on celebrity females of she's ugly, just generic. I'm like, they don't have anything nice to say. Like their entire Reddit history is just unhappiness.
Yeah. Well,
I'm like, I feel bad for the people. I know people like this are very not positive, and I'm like, I don't know what to do about that. I hope they seek help. Maybe they live somewhere they can get mental health help. I don't know. We're going to leave those on that comment. Where's that thing that makes it stop?
It's that.
It's this mouse.
It's that thing.
I was going to review this mouse, but let me tell you about this mouse.